उगले सर.
सर बोला ना.
पीपीटी तुमची ऑन करून सरांना वेलकम करून घ्या, सुरुवात करून देऊ.
बरोबर.
सर वेलकम त्या दिवशी झाला ना, आता डायरेक्ट सुरू करू शकतो आपण.
यस यस, 1 मिनिटाचा फक्त वेलकम.
ओके.
प्लीज स्टार्ट उगले सर.
Okay, sir. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great pleasure for me to introduce our speaker who is going to talk to us about tune mass damper. This is a subject in which we should all be deeply interested. So without wasting time, I'm just welcoming Dr. O.R. Jaiswal sir to enlighten us over the topic tune mass dampers for structural response. Welcome, sir.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. Please share.
Yeah.
And start. Yes. It is visible now. First slide is visible.
Yeah. Okay. Good. Thank you.
Yeah, you can start.
Yeah. So, dear participants, today is your 4th day, I understand.
Yes, sir.
This, yeah. So, by now you must have been introduced to various aspects of earthquake response of structures in general and buildings in particular. Now, during earthquake, building vibrates, structure vibrates, okay, and this ground shaking is very violent, very intense. Though it is for small duration, but it is means very high frequency, first point, okay, and secondly, it imparts very severe or high magnitude of dynamic force on the structure. Okay, now earthquake response of a structure, it reduces to vibration problem. During earthquake, structure vibrates. Okay. Now, vibrations are very common in mechanical engineering. All vehicles vibrate, machines vibrate, okay, aircraft vibrates. Okay. So, there are, somebody said there is a audio fluctuation. Shall I do something for that? Is it okay now or?
It is okay, sir. You please continue.
Okay. So vibration problems are very common in mechanical engineering, okay, aerospace engineering. Okay. In civil engineering, we encounter vibrations during earthquake loading, maybe during wind loading, and also if there is a machines, industrial buildings. Okay. So, since vibration problems are more common in mechanical engineering, the control problems also come from there. The control problems also come from mechanical side. Okay, so many of the control techniques which we will use in civil engineering, they come basically from mechanical engineering. Okay, so my presentation, okay, here will be some basics concepts, okay, and then various types of dampers which are being used in civil engineering. Okay, we have very commonly used viscous damper, friction damper, yielding damper, and this is the topic TMD tune mass damper, on which I discuss in little bit of details. Okay. At VNIT, we have done a lot of work on tune mass damper, and particularly simple type of tune mass dampers. Okay. So that is there some simple tune mass dampers, and then I will also discuss few things about base isolation. Okay, base isolation. Now, before we go for that, let us
Sir,
see.
if possible, please increase your volume.
Okay.
Mic volume.
Is there some improvement, sir?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. So before we go for these things, let us see how buildings vibrate during an earthquake. Okay, just 1 minute. So in this lecture, I will show you few videos also. So there could be some issues with the audio of the audio associated with these videos. Okay, so let us see. This video which I am going to show you is from a laboratory. Okay, laboratory, the very huge laboratory which has a shake table. Shake table is a table on which experimental work on earthquake shaking of the structure is done. And this shake table is of very huge size, 50 feet by 50 feet. So a prototype, actual size building can be mounted on that or constructed on that, and that building will be subjected to shaking. Okay. So this first video refers to that. I will play it again. So that is how shaking takes place. Sir, audio is okay, my audio?
Your audio is clear, and then audio for the video is also heard.
Okay, nice. Okay. So let us play once again. Then how ground shakes, and because of that, how building vibrates. There is no damage, of course, except some peripheral things. Okay. Now let us have one more video. These videos are from E-Defense Lab, okay, which is a very unique facility in the field of earthquake engineering. So how structure, depending on its characteristic, it responds to the earthquake. Okay, so we play it once again. So there are two buildings, both are subjected to same shaking. One has done well, another one has not done well. Maybe they have put some additional features and they wanted to test that. Okay, so this is how ground shakes, and during ground shaking, structure vibrates. These buildings vibrate. Okay. Now, response control, okay, which is the topic for today's discussion. In that, damping is a very important parameter. Damping is a very important parameter. Okay, and all of us are quite used to how this. Okay, dampers, shock absorbers, particularly in vehicles. Okay. So damping is of tremendous help in controlling the vibration response. Okay. The other option could be you change your structural characteristics itself. You change your structural characteristics itself, like you change the column size, weight, natural frequency, and things like that. Okay. But damping is something which provides a very good option to control the vibrations. Okay. Now, just to give a feeling for that, okay, this graph I am showing you. Okay. If structure vibrates like this red color line, then damping is 0.05. In same structure, if damping is increased to 0.15, okay, then vibrations will get reduced to green color. Okay. Now, what is damping and where does it come? Okay. Since most of the participants are students, particularly those who have done some higher level of courses, like particularly MTech students, this is equation of motion of a single degree of freedom system, in which omega is natural frequency and eta is damping ratio. Eta is damping ratio. Okay. This is the free vibration response. Okay. And what I have written at the bottom here, okay, is the free vibration response of a single degree of freedom system due to initial displacement x0 and initial velocity v0. Okay. So if damping increases, then vibrations reduce. That is the aim of showing this graph to you. Okay. So damping indeed helps us in reducing the vibrations. There is another very basic or fundamental concept in structural dynamics, which is known as frequency response curve. Okay. Frequency response curve. By now you must have heard this word response spectrum. Response spectrum. Okay. So response spectrum is for a given earthquake. Okay. For a harmonic loading, equivalent of response spectrum will be frequency response curve. Frequency response curve. So this graph which you are seeing on the screen, on x-axis we have frequency of excitation. Okay, it is normalized with respect to natural frequency omega. Otherwise it is exciting frequency lambda on x-axis. And on y-axis, this quantity written here is DLF, dynamic load factor. Dynamic load factor. So as this lambda increases, and at 1 means what? Lambda by omega is equal to 1. That means exciting frequency is same as natural frequency. Okay. At that time, deflection is maximum, response is maximum. Okay. You cross, so if lambda becomes more than omega, then again displacement reduces, dynamic load factor reduces. So lambda by omega equals to 1, this region is known as resonance region. Resonance region. Resonance region. Okay. So when natural frequency of the system is very close to the exciting frequency, system will go into resonance and will vibrate with large amplitude. Will vibrate with large amplitude. Okay. Now, if eta is more, if damping is more, then this amplitude also reduces. For eta is equal to 0.05, you have this much amplitude. For eta is equal to 0.1, the displacement has reduced significantly. And damping is very effective in resonance region. Okay. See, as you go away from 1, effect of damping is not much, it is negligible. Okay. On this side at 0.5 and at here let us say 1.5, eta 0.05 and 0.1 graphs are same. Okay. So damping is very helpful in reducing the dynamic response, particularly in resonance region. Okay, now this is one way of playing with this thing. Okay, if suppose you know the exciting frequency, Now, when will we know exciting frequency? Suppose you are concerned with an industrial building, and on that building, somebody, a mechanical engineer, says that I will mount a machine which will be vibrating at 25 hertz. So that machine will produce an exciting force at 25 hertz. So what I will do, I will shift natural frequency of my building away from 25 hertz. I will avoid these regions. Okay. So if this is the 25 hertz, okay, this 25 hertz, then I will change my building characteristics such that I am on this side or I am on this side of this graph. Okay. So that is one way of playing with these structural characteristics to avoid the dynamic response, higher values of dynamic response. Okay. That is what is shown here. Yeah. Now, before we start our civil engineering control problems, this slide shows in car what happens. Okay, when a car moves on a uneven road, okay, it vibrates, and function of a shock absorber. Shock absorber is typically put between this axle and the body of the car. Okay, body of the car, and this is the commercial model. This is also commercial model. It comprises of a spring which is from outside, but inside there is a piston and a chamber filled with liquid. Okay, so this piston moves against the liquid. Okay, so that is the mechanism. Okay, that is the arrangement. Okay, so this is known as shock absorber. So it typically comprises of a damper. Okay, damper means that 2 eta omega x dot term. No? Okay, so dashpot. Okay, and outside there is a spring. Okay, so this is the typical vibration control mechanism which is used in vehicles. Okay, so now in civil engineering we have passive control, we have active control. Okay, and then remaining two, they are some hybrid form of that or combination of the two. Semi-active and hybrid means some element of passiveness and some element of activeness. Okay. So this table, it outlines various types of devices which are available under this 4 category of, okay, the control devices. Okay, we will be dealing mainly with passive control devices. Okay. So in that we have yield damper, we have friction damper, we have viscous damper, we have tune mass damper, okay, tune liquid damper. Okay. Then in active control there are different types of things. See, active control means what? Something which is online. Okay. Passive control means control mechanism will be present there, whether building is vibrating or not. Whereas active control mechanism will come into picture only when building starts vibrating. So it requires a power supply, it requires sensors, okay, it requires feedback mechanism, okay, and all those things should properly work. active control is very much a part of uh, other fields like this speech broadcasting. Okay, their filters are actively used to control the noise. Okay, another one example of that would be when you see this cricket commentary. You know, you see there is so much of noise in the ground, but when commentator speaks, okay, that noise is suitably filtered. So that is controlled through some active mechanism. Active filters are applied there, so that things doesn't noise doesn't enter. Now those active control mechanisms where they are used, their size is small. Now what do you mean by size? If suppose I have to apply active control in a scooter or in a car, okay, the weight of car and weight of scooter is much smaller as compared to size and weight of civil engineering structures. Okay, so in civil engineering structures, active mechanisms will require a lot of they have to put a lot of so to say electric supply, a lot of other resources which are required in active this thing, because size of the structure which is to be controlled is very large as compared to mechanical engineering applications. So viscous dampers, let me explain to you this. So typically what happens, there is a piston and there is a chamber. And this piston, this is fluid is put in the chamber. This is the fluid liquid. Okay. So piston is attached to the one end of the structure and this is attached to the another end. When there is a relative movement between these two ends, the piston moves against the fluid. And any body which is moving inside the fluid, it suffers a resistance, or fluid offers a resistance which is proportional to the velocity. That is how viscous term comes. Okay. It is proportional to velocity, and then it offers resistance to the motion, and that is how vibration are damped. Okay. Now these pictures, they show mechanically or commercially available pistons or viscous dampers. This one is used in the bridges here. Okay, this picture is in building here. Very huge size, you see. Now, some of these things you must have seen in scooters or in cars also. And now look at their sizes and look at the sizes here. Okay? The huge size. These are runs in meters. Okay, whereas whatever we have in scooter, two-wheelers and four-wheelers, their size is much smaller. So again, same thing, two ends. This is one end, okay, and this is another end. When there is a relative movement, this piston will move inside the chamber, which is filled with fluid, and thereby energy will get dissipated, okay, through this movement inside the fluid. So that is how viscous dampers work. Okay. So they are commercially available. Now they have to be properly deployed so that function of the building doesn't get hampered. At the same time, aesthetics, look should not also get disturbed. So this is how viscous dampers work. Now there is a video here. I'll play this video. See, these are two identical structures. One is fitted with viscous damper. There are two viscous dampers here, and this one is not fitted with any viscous damper. And when ground is shaken, okay, then how do they respond? Okay, this structure which doesn't have any viscous damper vibrates. Okay. I'll play again. Yeah, so that is a nice demonstration of how effective viscous damper is. Okay. Now, depending on the characteristics of the building, one has to suitably arrive at the size. Okay, how much fluid will be required? Okay, how much piston motion is expected to occur? That is how length of the piston chamber will be decided. Things like that. Okay, so that is a field in itself. Okay, wherein professionals are involved. Okay, apart from civil engineers, okay, and then this type of dampers. Okay. Now friction damper. Okay. Now see, main purpose of dampers is to dissipate the energy. To dissipate the energy. In the viscous damper, it is dissipated through motion against the fluid. In friction damper, it is dissipated by introducing friction between two parts. Okay, between two parts. Okay. Again, now there is a video. See, relative movement at two ends is transferred in the form of rubbing against these two parts. This part rubs against this part. Okay, and there are some frictions here also. Okay, so that is how let me play again. So there is a friction here, there is a friction here. There are frictions here, here, and here. Okay, and they help in dissipating the energy. Okay, so there are examples of friction dampers. Okay, typically it is implemented in the form of a plate which is bolted to various parts, and these bolts are hinge type of thing. They hold the two parts, but there is little bit of movement is allowed. Okay, this is pictorially, this is what is shown here. Okay, and these are used in actual practice. Okay, there are places where friction dampers have been implemented and they have helped in reducing the vibrations. Okay, so that is about friction dampers. Here also now mu will have to be properly decided. Okay, depending on what type of metals are being used, rubbing between two surfaces. Okay. And then how much area should be rather than area, how much vertical pressure, so how much bolt should be tightened so that this required amount of energy dissipation is achieved. Yielding dampers, yielding dampers, what happens, like this is the kind of arrangement we have. So when building will vibrate, this series of plates you see here, okay, they have a notch type of thing. Okay, they have a notch type of thing. Means what? Let me see if there is a, yeah, this figure. See, let us concentrate on this. Okay? This, it is one end is attached here, another attached here, and there is a very neck kind of thing here. Okay? So there is a neck kind of thing attached. Okay? This is what is the series of plates here. Okay? So when there is a relative movement between the two ends, this weak portion it yields. It yields means what? The best example of yielding is bubble gum, chewing gum. Okay. So the yield, okay, go to plastic deformation, and in the process, energy is dissipated. So there are a lot of examples of yield dampers in use. Okay. So this is this before and after is written here. After the testing, okay. So they yield, they break, okay, and then they are replaced. Because yielding name itself suggests that they have to go in nonlinear range and they will yield and things like that. Okay. So that is yielding damper. Now again there is a video. This will be a little bit longer, but please have a look at it. Okay, so that's a nice video where you get a overview of friction damper as well as this yielding damper. See, yielding damper is like a fuse in electric circuit. Okay, fuse in electric circuit. There will be a deliberately introduced weak part in the circuit, so that if there is a over burden, okay, short circuit, then that wire will break, so that rest of the circuit is saved. So these yielding devices are like that. Okay. Okay. So we now talk about tune mass damper. Okay. TMD is what? It is a small mass and spring and damping damper which is attached to the main building, which is attached to the main building. Okay. Which is attached to the main building. So this additional system, okay, it is here, is attached to the main building. This is the main structure. Okay. Now it is attached in such a way that, okay, it produces the effect which helps in balancing the structure. Which helps in balancing the structure. How does it happen? Suppose building goes to the left, building goes to the left, this pendulum will go to the right. Okay. So for that you have to properly adjust its stiffness, its damping also, its mass also, or in other terms, its natural frequency, so that this type of things happen. Okay. And if suppose building goes this direction, then it will go into opposite of that. Okay. So this is the function of tune mass damper, or this is the means roughly, or a layman's language, if I have to say, this is how tune mass damper works. It produces a balancing effect, okay, and for that purpose, its mass, stiffness, as well as damping has to be properly selected. Okay. Now let us see another video. Which demonstrates tune mass damper. So this pendulum type of thing is tune mass damper. First it will be locked here, so both the structures are same. Then this will be unlocked and you will see that pendulum vibrates more. Now they are unlocking the pendulum. See, once this pendulum comes into picture, or TMD comes into picture, this structure vibrates more. This structure's vibration is very less. I will play it once again. Okay, so that is how this pendulum effectively reduces. Okay, now here I am showing you this M is mass of the original building, original structure, stiffness is K, stamping is C, and this TMD which you have mounted, for that its mass is MT. So this suffix T indicates TMD. So MT, damping is CT, and stiffness is KT. Okay. So the parameters, various parameters involved in the design of tube mass damper, this is little bit of theoretical, is mass ratio, how much additional mass you can put on the structure empty. Okay. Then beta is the damping of the main system, and xi is the damping of the TMD. Okay. And F is the frequency ratio. Frequency of TMD, natural frequency of TMD divided by natural frequency of main structure. So with these four parameters, okay, one can play with the TMD, okay, and decide depending on what efficiency you want, okay. And this exercise of finding the most efficient tune mass damper is known as optimum tune mass damper or optimization, okay. You decide mass ratio, frequency ratio, and xi in such a way that you get maximum reduction in the response, okay. Then there are studies, those of you who are interested in doing further research on this topic, okay, there are right from Dan Hartog, way back in 60s till date, people are proposing various optimum parameters for tune mass damper. There is optimum frequency ratio, optimum damping, okay, so that one gets maximum benefit or maximum reduction in the response. Okay. Now, across the globe on the earth, there are many interesting structures which are fitted with tune mass damper. The most celebrated example is Taipai Tower in Taiwan. It is 101-story building. That is how named 101. Okay, Taipai 101. Okay, the name of the building is Taipai 101. Okay, in this building, which is 101-story building, from 88th floor, one pendulum is suspended. One pendulum is suspended with the help of ropes. Okay, and this is quite long, so it goes to 3, 4, 5 floors. So right from 88th floor, up to 83rd floor, this is hanging. Okay, and there is a big steel ball there. Okay, so that when building swings because of wind or because of earthquake, this is realistic picture of that. This ball, it vibrates, it swings. Okay, it swings, and to control its swinging, these dampers are there. Okay. Now, length of the rope and mass of this pendulum, okay, ball is adjusted depending on the natural frequency of this tower, Taipai 101, and then it is very effective. There are video recordings that during high wind, it has helped in controlling the vibrations. During earthquakes also, okay, it has helped in controlling the vibration. So this is one example wherein TMD is of pendulum type. Okay. There are many examples. Okay, if you just browse Google Scholar, you will get lot of examples wherein tune mass dampers are used. Okay. This is in bridge. Okay, to control the vertical vibration. This is below the deck of the bridge. Okay. Yeah. This is another type of tune mass damper wherein heavy block. This is a block, and this is the spring. Okay. So this is not pendulum type. The heavy mass is kept on the spring. Okay. So during vibration, this acts as a secondary system and helps in controlling. Okay. So there are two types of tune mass damper basically. This mass resting on a spring and pendulum type. This type, pendulum type. Okay. So there are many buildings, thousands of buildings, okay, all over the world, which have been fitted with tune mass damper. Now, some of the studies which we did at VNIT, okay, we did tune mass damper for multi-story building, elevated water tanks, and tall chimneys. Okay. Now, in all these studies, okay, our aim was that tune mass damper should be simple. Okay, it's simple. I'm trying to write with the help of mouse. That's why all these funny things are happening. Okay. Simple. It has to be simple. What do you mean by simple? See, this TMD, like this, which is there in this Bosch Tower of Japan, it requires regular maintenance. It requires additional construction. It requires additional cost. It requires additional, so to say, technology also, so that on an RCC building, you go to mount such a mechanical device, Okay, it will require additional technology, additional maintenance, additional cost, and of course, more money will be also required. Whereas we want to have something simple. So how do we do these simple things? Okay, see, such a simple TMD may not be as effective as those other things. Okay, if you have a building like this, construct one more story. Beam column size of these stories will be different. Okay, this building won't be for occupancy. Okay, this columns of this building could be of steel or steel tube filled with concrete, something like that. It's weak story. Okay, and it will be adjusted in such a way that when building swings to left, this story will swing to right. Okay, so that kind of adjustments can be done with the help of natural frequency. Okay, to adjust the natural frequency of this additional part and natural frequency of this existing structure building. Okay, so if that is done, then it is helpful. It is helpful. Okay, so this is simple in the sense that whatever technology you have to construct the building, with same technology this can be constructed. There will be hardly any maintenance. Okay, and there will not be any additional much cost also. Okay, so like this there will be additional this thing. Okay, and then we did all sorts of modeling of this tube mass damper. This third model M3 is having TMD at the top. Okay, and then check its effectiveness. Okay, so model M1 is building first one, and M3 is this. M2 is the worst case, no control. M2 is no control. You put TMD, then you are able to control it. Okay. So in frequency response function also, that is see, your peak from here to has come down to here because of tube mass damper in the form of that simple additional story at the top. Additional story at the top. Okay. That was for building. Okay. Now you do dynamic analysis, you solve those equations of motion, and then you can show that without control response is given by red line here, if you can see that. Okay, and with control you have this blue color line. Okay, here, which shows that vibrations have reduced because of such simple weak story at the top. Now for water tank, okay, so let me explain to you what elevated water tank looks like. Elevated water tank typically has the staging, then it has base slab, then it has container wall, and at the top is a slab. And since slab diameter is large, there are internal columns. So these columns, internal columns, they are inside the liquid, inside the water. Okay. So in elevation, we have something like this. Roof slab in container column, inside columns. Okay, so we detach here. This portion is detached. Roof slab is detached from the wall. Then what happens? This column and this roof slab, okay, they act as a tube mass damper. They act as tube mass dampers. Okay. So no additional cost, nothing. I am just detaching slab from the wall vertically, okay, so that this can vibrate independently, and that helps. Okay. So this is without TMD, this is with TMD, okay, detachment. Okay. And then you do all the analysis, okay, and then you can show that yes, without TMD peak was here, with TMD that peak has got reduced little bit, 15% or so. Okay. So these are very simple things I am showing you. Okay, there is no additional damping, there is no additional other issues which are to be put. So their performance is also a little bit less efficient as compared to classical TMD, but they're very simple. That is the beauty about them. Then chimney. Okay, if you look closely at chimney, there are flumes, and outside is this RCC shell. Okay, RCC shell, and there are platforms at regular intervals. This kind of platforms which support the flue. Smoke comes out from the flue. Okay, So what we have done in chimney for tune mass damper, okay, this platform, which is circular with holes for flue, it rests on chimney shell, RCC shell, directly rests it. So rather than directly resting, you put a bearing here. Okay, like bearing we have in bridges between deck and pier. Okay, so that this platform now acts like a tune mass damper. Platform acts like a tune mass damper. Okay. Okay, this is the structural details of how platform is supported. There are two main girders, then secondary girders, and then other girders. Okay, and these triangles show the points where they rest on the RCC shell. So we replace these triangles by stiffness or by stiffness mechanism, okay, elastomeric bearing, so that these bearings and this thing hold together react as a tune mass damper. They have mass, they have stiffness, okay, like that. Okay. Okay. Now rest of it is result once you see. Okay. Now here also what is the beauty? Beauty is that TMD has been derived from the existing component. There is no additional cost. Okay. Just little bit of modification. Okay. Then once we have to show its performance, okay, then in chimney there are two types of wind analysis: along wind analysis and across wind analysis. So without TMD we have this graph, with TMD we have this graph along the height displacement, so it gets reduced. Okay, it gets reduced along wind response. Similarly, across wind response also gets reduced. Okay. Now across wind response is like vortex shading. Okay, vortex shading. It's like resonance. Okay. So without TMD is this faint color graph. With TMD is this dark blue color graph. So at critical velocity or at resonant velocity, there is a huge reduction, 30 to 40% because of tune mass damper. Okay. Now base isolation. This last thing about this is base isolation. Okay. This is very efficient and very effective technique. Okay, and of late it is being increasingly used. Rather than these dampers, now people are going more and more for base isolation. Okay. Now what is done in base isolation? Okay, to demonstrate that, okay, there is a video here. Okay, so let me go to option. I'll play this video, okay, and then I'll explain base isolation, and then we'll stop. Now see, they will put isolation now. Okay, whatever simulation or animation you have seen was without isolation. Now they have deployed isolation devices at the base. Now details of this isolation, what does it comprises of? There is a ball kind of thing here, okay, this kind of thing, okay, which can slide here on this base, okay. These are the various components of a typical base isolation. There is lower plate, okay, and then there is a upper sliding plate, okay, and then this all arrangements, okay. So it's like building is put on a roller, so that when ground shakes, building rolls, okay. But since it should not go unlimited, this roller is in the form of now elliptical shape and other things. Okay, yeah, so that is the description of base isolation. Okay, now this is one place where base isolation, so it comprises of laminated rubber bearings, okay, that is one type of bearings, okay, like this kind of arrangements, okay. This whole building column continues from here and there is this arrangement. Should there be a ground shaking, only this portion will shake. Whole building won't shake as we have seen in this animation, okay. So, and it comprises of, as I said, there is sort of roller kind of thing, okay, which is kept and which rolls, okay, during this thing, okay. There are various other forms of this, okay, another type of this, okay. And this is just a thing. This building is on base isolation here. This building is not on base isolation. So during ground shaking, there will be a lot of vibrations. This building will simply slide here and there. Okay, means the ground will slide, building will remain as it is. Okay. This is the one being used in India, the military hospital in Bhuj, the district hospital in Bhuj, okay, wherein base isolations have been used, and now applications are increasing. Okay, so we will end here, and in conclusion, I'll say that those young students who wants to take part in these research activities, okay, they should get into this field of control of vibrations during earthquake or during wind, okay. This is a very challenging field and a lot of new things are coming up in this field, okay. I have just given you glimpses of various types of passive devices and few more things about TMD, some very brief description about base isolation, okay. There are many opportunities in research in this field and so far used in India is limited, okay. So with that I will stop here.
So participants can type their question in the chat box. So there are some few questions are there in the chat box.
Yeah, I'll take up that.
Yeah.
It starts from at 1:43. There was a question by Nisar Gandhi. tune mass dampers are used in Statue of Unity. Sir, can you please explain how they placed it in the whole system or any photographs of them? Okay, that's good. Okay, I have something, okay, related to this Unity, Statue of Unity. Let us see if I can dig it out, okay, and then I'll share that slide with you. I am not sure if it has been actually put in Statue of Unity or not, but they have made a provision. That is what I have learned. That is how I have learned. Yeah, I got hold of these slides, okay. So I'll share with you. There are two applications in India. Now you are able to see this slide, TMD application in India?
Yes, sir. Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So one is in air traffic control tower at Delhi airport, this New Delhi airport, okay. There, in this portion from there where traffic is controlled, somewhere there, okay, let's see, yeah, somewhere here, they have put a TMD. That is what is given in a paper, okay. I haven't physically seen that, okay. In one of the technical paper, this information is given, okay. Next is Statue of Unity, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel statue, okay. Now, if you see this, okay, though there is a statue, but basic structural form is like this. There are two, so to say, it is like a shear wall.
Yes.
And elements, and there is a RCC portion, okay, and then all around that there is a steel fabrication, okay, which gives it the shape of the statue, okay. And okay, I have only these two slides. So what has been written here, tune mass damper to reduce amplitude of mechanical seismic vibration. There is a provision somewhere here, so near shoulder somewhere here, okay, wherein TMDs will be mounted. That is what was written in the paper which I came across. Whether it is actually done or not, I don't know, but this is the information which was available with me, so I have shared it with you, okay. So that was one question. Then next question here is, for pendulum type TMD damper, how calculated damping and frequency parameters of TMD will be applied to real time models, sir? Since mass hangs on rope, how these parameters are applied? See, basically for TMD you require a mass, you require a stiffness. So in some sense, a natural frequency is required, okay, and of course some damping is also required, okay. So if it is a damper, as I have shown you in the case of type pi 101, okay, these ropes, length of the rope will control the time period, okay, will control the time period. Of course, the mass of the pendulum also, okay. So this in pendulum type of TMD, okay, this mass of the ball and length of the rope, that decides the frequency, and then damping is applied with the help of this viscous dampers. Viscous dampers are attached to the ball, okay, and then they give the damping, okay. Is any criteria using base isolation and damper techniques according to seismic zones? You see, base isolation is very effective. It reduces the earthquake response of the order of 60 to 70%, whereas TMDs will give you 20, 30, 40%, not more than that, okay. So base isolation, okay. Another thing is that base isolation is used for short structure, high frequency structure. For a very tall building or chimney, you won't use base isolation. Otherwise, they will become more flexible. So those are one or two criteria which will decide what to use. Base isolation technique cannot be used with buildings with flat slab or precast. See, these two buildings which you are mentioning, buildings with flat slab and precast elements, okay, they are seismic, from seismic point of view, they are more susceptible, they are more vulnerable. Okay, and invariably they should not be very tall buildings. If they are very tall, then there will be problem. So that is why brief isolation may not be used there. Otherwise, there is no problem. Yes, sir. I think I have finished all these questions.
So thank you, sir. With the various videographic and pictorial views. So this topic was well explained by Dr. O.R. Jaiswal, sir. And I think the many of the participants will now get interested in this design of this fuel mass damper like this type of equipments. So there are very much opportunities in the research area in this. So much research is required for application of this in various types of building. So I think that was today's achievement that everybody get interested in this topic. So I also thanks to all the participants for being with us and with the patients listening. And for this session now we will stop here, and the next session we will begin at again 2:30.
Okay, thank you very much. Thanks.
Thank you, Jaiswal, sir. Thank you,
Thanks.
sir.
Thanks. Thank you.
So Mohammad Yemen has raised the hand.
No, sorry, sir. Sorry, my mistake.
Okay, so we will stop here for the session, and again we will meet at 2:30. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.